reason I'm making this video is because I just recently finished a 10-week bikepacking trip where I had 4 cameras and I didn't bring a laptop because I didn't want to edit. The idea was to accumulate the footage and then come home and edit it. I would generally have to go to a library to download my SD cards. I had approximately, I want to say 8 of them, and from 128, I think most of them were 128, and then I had a couple of 256. So the thing was, I'd get to a town and the library would be closed. Either it'd be Saturday or Sunday, or Monday and Tuesday. These smaller towns, they were closed like on Monday. So it was kind of the luck of the draw if I would make it to a library on the day that it was open to download my files. And recently I purchased this iPhone 15, and as many of you know, iPhones from 15 on, they switched to USB-C. And the benefit of that is we can do high-speed data transfer now. This is something probably that Android users have been able to do for quite a while now. This is news for us because with the iPhones before that, it's Lightning cable, which I believe is limited to 2.0 speeds. So the whole point of this is to be able to do this without a computer. If you're on the road and you're not carrying a laptop, you can transfer your files. So anyway, let's get into it. So we have the iPhone 15. Like I said, anything 15 or later will work. It has to have a USB-C connector on it. So we have the hub here. This is a Moken. This is just a generic hub. I purchased this because I needed an HDMI adapter when I was visiting family and I was editing. So this has USB-C ×2 and the USB 3 ×2 and then a card reader. But if you look at this one on the end, it has a little power icon, a little wall plug icon, and that's where I put the battery when I use this with a battery. I did find that you can use it without powering it, but it's probably better to power because then you're not draining your phone, and at the same time it charges the phone, so that's kind of a nice feature. This was like 20 bucks on Amazon. There's plenty of these available. Very generic, from China, I presume. And then we have our SD card, which is in our GoPro. I have a few notes about using a GoPro and storing footage from a GoPro specifically later in the video if you hang around that far. And like I said, I've done a test without power, but generally I would recommend using power because you're not going to drain the phone. I didn't find that it drained an excessive amount of power, but it does drain the phone. So then again, I'm going to put it in this one that has the power indicator on it. And you know, you're probably going to have a power bank with you anyway when you're bike packing or bike touring, so that shouldn't be an issue. And we're going to plug this into the phone, and the phone should start the charge. Then we have an SSD. This is a 2 terabyte Crucial that I used on my trip, and it worked out great. Like I said, I would take this to a library, put the card in the library computer, and then upload to this. The other thing is you could probably use the USB 3 stick. I haven't tried this, but I guess you could just carry a bunch of these with you if you didn't want to carry an SSD. This doesn't seem very practical to me because these are probably pricey. But anyway, so I have a 2 terabyte SSD. Any capacity will work. I did try it, test it briefly with a spinning drive, although it was a 4 terabyte, which is probably kind of a big drive. Well, you know, a pocket drive, but it was a 4 terabyte one. I don't know if that requires more power than another one, but it did kind of hang when I did the transfers. It didn't really work. It said it couldn't find the destination or something, so that didn't really work out well. And what we're going to do is we're going to plug our SSD into this other USB port, USB-C port, I should say. And like I said, you could probably plug this guy in here too. Let's just see. I've never tried this. Let's see if the phone will see that. So, well, it's reading it. So you should have I don't know what you would call this, but something called Files on your phone. You could probably search for it. Let's just do that and search for Files. Yeah, see, there it is. There it comes up. And then you go into that. Here goes our SD card. Our install macOS Monterey is the USB stick, and the 2 terabyte 2D Crucial is the 2 terabyte SSD. So let's go to our GoPro footage. And as you know, GoPro LRV, you're going to have to scroll down to the bottom. LRV is low resolution video, and THM is thumb. So it's down there at the bottom. And let's just go ahead and let's start at the top here. So what you want to do is you want to select, go up to the top, select, boom, boom, boom. Let's do up to 10, I guess, or thereabouts. So we do that. I would do it in blocks. I wouldn't necessarily do a lot of them because you're probably taxing the phone a little bit. It's just a guess. What you want to do is hit this down here at the bottom. Now it may take a second or two to respond. It won't respond immediately. And what you want to do is you want to select copy. Oh, before I forget, I did try and load it to Google, but it does hang. It doesn't really work very well. It kind of like lost the destination or something. There was an error that came up. So I had mixed results with uploading to the Google Drive in the cloud. So what you want to do is select copy. We've copied the location, and now we're going to go to our destination, which in this test will be the 2 terabyte. And we've created this folder. You can create a new folder up here. You see new folder, select, etc. we are going to go into our new folder. Folder is empty, and we're going to paste those files. And there you see, there they go. They're being transferred now. And there is a progress bar up here, or progress circle, this little circle up here. And if we tap that, I believe, yeah, it'll give us an estimate. So it's transferring 6.59 gigabytes, about 5 minutes. And so that's how you do it, basically. It works really good. I haven't had any problems other than, like I said, with a spinning drive. And again, you don't want to tax the system too much. I think it's good to do it in blocks, but that's just me hypothesizing. I did have luck transferring it to iCloud. It did work. I have the family program, so I have like 2 terabytes of storage. Ideally, you would have big enough cards that you don't have to delete anything, and this is just a backup. This feature lets you delete your SD cards as long as you feel confident that you have a copy of them. Another thing you can do is you can actually watch the videos, which is kind of cool. I don't know if it'll do it now since it's transferring, but if we go to a file on the card, and we could actually just click on it, and it plays. So you could actually, you know, review your footage later in the night. You can watch it, you know, like that, and not have to watch it on the phone. It's lagging a little bit because the phone's busy. Normally it plays no problem, but I think because it's copying, it's being, you know, you're asking the phone to do a lot. So one thing I will mention, if you happen to have a GoPro and don't want to go through all this, you could simply just use their cloud service. It's $25 for the first year. After that, it's $50 a year, but you can just cancel it after the first year, and it's unlimited cloud. And what's kind of cool about that is if you have a GoPro, you can just upload to the cloud and not deal with this. Anytime it gets on a Wi-Fi network, it uploads automatically. It being a GoPro, there's a few caveats. The first one is it's buggy. There's multiple times where I would log onto the Wi-Fi network and it wouldn't work. It would just hang at 0%, and then I have to restart the phone and redo it, and I would have to restart the camera. And it would just be multiple tries before I could get it to work. But when it does work, it works. The other thing is, with regards to a Wi-Fi network, it can't be like behind a web page or anything. It has to be a simple Wi-Fi network, like at a mom and pop coffee shop where there's no portal. So like if you go to like Starbucks or a hotel, there's generally a portal, like a web page that you agree to their conditions. It won't work that way because you have to get on the Wi-Fi network through the GoPro app. So we turned on our GoPro. Let's go to the quick app. So there it's seeing the camera. Now, up here, right here on the right side is auto upload. You can turn, right now I have it turned on, so that means when I plug it into a power source, it will automatically start uploading. And then I have this feature here, which could be a little scary for some, and I did use it and I didn't have any problems, and that's auto clear. And basically what that does is it will delete the card after it uploads all the files. When you arrive at a location, you would search for the Wi-Fi, and there's my Wi-Fi there. You log on. And then, like I said, if you have to deal with a web page, this isn't going to work. That's the way I would transfer data in a nutshell. If you have a GoPro, I would maybe subscribe to their service if you want to do all this. A couple things before I forget, and that's with regards to the GoPro media library and the timestamp. So here we are here. We have Saturday, August 17th. And if we click on this here, we see that this is file 2807. And we go to get info right here. And you'll see that it says it was recorded on August 17th. Now the issue is, and this is mostly pertains to if you have multiple cameras. If you're running multiple cameras with regards to the GoPro, the timestamp's pretty important, and I would hope that you have all your cameras set to the same time of day. But like I said, there's 12/8/07 there, and if we go to 12/8/07 here, you'll see that it says it was created on October 24th. Now that's when I downloaded it. So what it does is, it changes the date, or the date that you download the file is when the file was created on your computer. So this really only is an issue if you're using multiple cameras. Like I said, you'd have to go find the time of day. So this is 4:51. This 8:32 p.m. is irrelevant, and you'd have to, if you have another camera that's at say 4:55, you would know that it would get placed after 12/8/07 in your timeline. And last but not least is regarding downloading the actual files from the GoPro media library. If we go ahead and select the file here with a little check, and you'll see here, and then this little pop-up comes up, and it says select all, download, share link, edit date, delete, cancel, etc. So if I go ahead and select download, it's going to create a zip file. And what I found in my experience, not most of the time, but a lot of the time, maybe 30% of the time, the download was corrupt, and I'd have to redo it, or I'd just give up after 2-3 tries, and I would just go ahead and select the files and download them individually. Again, it's just one of the many bugs that GoPro has with their system. And with that, that's the end of the video. Hope you found this helpful, and see you on the next one.